Welcome to Witches of Three.
Speak free. Speak free. Talking about witches. Talking about...
1, 2, 3.
Witches of Three. Speak free.
Mardi Gras edition. Oh my god, I have a feather in my mouth.
Perfect.
So,
Mardi Gras edition.
Side fundraising. I feel like we need to do something outside of Patreon to raise money for our singing lessons. Anybody else on board with that?
Or if any musically inclined people want to make some music for our opening.
I'm our musical director.
Make a little song for us. I think we would be really down.
Yes, we would love it.
That would be fantastic because we are struggling because we cannot do the Ghostbusters theme, and obviously none of us are fucking
We just can't do all the things.
No.
Yeah,
But
we need
anyway,
help.
this is our favorite type of episode. This is the Ask FM and all the questions we get episode. And it's also Mardi Gras edition because this is near Fat Tuesday.
Yes.
I believe this episode will air on Ash Wednesday.
So I think that.
So, first of all, one of the requests we get, because we get requests for shows, and we love that. You have an idea for a show, you want us to talk about a certain thing, we love that. Please keep bringing that in. And one of the requests that we got is for our Ask FMs. If our producer, if we could break the fourth wall, if our producer, Sean, my husband, would actually ask us the questions. So it's more of someone else asking us the questions. And we would love to do that for you.
Yes.
Hello, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, everybody. We had a few good questions and some requests. Other than me reading, we have the request of seeing Kyla's nasty notebook that she jots down all of her magic in.
Listen, I'm not going to show you my nasty notebook, but
Scan it later.
I do want to make a recommendation. So my nasty notebook is because I make notes for all astrology all the time. That's constantly changing, and I'm just crazy. But I want to make a recommendation. If anyone is studying astrology, this is called a honeycomb almanac. And what you do is you can order it, and they take your birth time, and you tell them what type of astrology you want to study and what you want to know, and they map out the whole year for you. And honeys, I am telling you, my husband bought me this for a little Valentine's Day thing.
That's so
and
cool.
My biddies, y'all. Before every month, it shows all the planets and where they move. It shows where it is on your chart, what most affects. It highlights. It tells you. I do like modern and Western astrology, but I really want to learn Hellenistic, so we incorporated both. And I want to learn asteroids as well, and they added all that in for me.
Wow,
so I could help. And it just shows all the planet transformations and the transits every day. If you want to study astrology, so hopefully you won't be seeing the nasty notebook every time I'm doing the little astrology breakthroughs. But I can't promise that because I write notes wherever paper is and whenever that stuff hits me. But I'm going to try to put it all in this beautiful new astrology almanac. But I can't promise it.
That's
I can't promise
so fucking
anything.
cool.
Listen,
It's got her name on it.
Huh? Yeah, it has all my stuff.
And your
This
name.
isn't. This was only.
That's
I think
really cool.
I think it was $36.
Jiminy Christmas.
And
You astrologer, that would cost you. Honestly, getting
is
that
so
astrology
much
is so
work.
valuable.
It's so much work, and like I said, I wanted to study like Hellenistic, so it put
really cool.
So it put like the perfections in there, like what house is like where I should study this year, where the lot of fortune is, like when I should do manifestation work. This is so valuable. All the new moons, all the full moons, all the conjunctions. I mean, all the aspects. It's just I can't even.
It's wicked.
I just read about it, or I heard about it on TikTok first, and I was like, that can't be as great as they. It can't be as great as they said, but it was only like $30, so I tried it, and it's one of the best things I've ever bought, like ever in my life.
So when's the big shit coming for you this year?
My birthday.
Yeah.
So, oh my god. Yeah. So, yeah, it's so
Ooh.
so look, they even give you, so it even has my solar return. So, and we offer that that aspect here at Spiritworks if you want a solar return reading, but they have all that for you. They have my last solar return, so I can look at last year and compare it with this year. So your solar return is, it just kind of like gives you like a yearly reading, and they have all that for me. They have what month I should do certain things. I mean, it's just
Yours
awesome.
looks like a Pac-Man, both half open and half closed. It's very Taurusy.
Yeah.
With its eating
Yeah.
of the things. Listen, I'm just making a horrible joke. But it does. It looks like fucking Pac-Man.
I love it. Yeah, I'm all this year I'm all public stuff. I'm all like higher spiritual, my public, my career, and building my community
What
and
house is
spiritual
that?
work. 8 through
Oh,
12.
I see. Yeah.
I am in my spiritual like year, but it has it all mapped out for me, and it has it teaching me my chart analysis. And like I said, I understand Western and modern astrology very well, but I wanted to learn Hellenistic, so it has all that in for me as well.
That's awesome.
And it has all the asteroids. Basically, I mean, this is invaluable. Like I can't even just describe. Like, look, it just shows everything. Like my little astrology posts every day. Like now I can just look through here. I don't have to do like little mathematical calculations. Like I can just look through here and it says this is what's happening. It's just, and it highlights what's really pertinent to you, like what you really need to pay attention to and what houses it affects, what areas of life. I really just can't. I'm so excited. Mine starts February, so.
Nice. Very cool.
But you're still probably going to see that nasty notebook. Maybe we'll do a little video, like, and you'll see my little like crazy notes. But that's usually how it works. I get a piece of paper and I go, oh my gosh, where is Mars right now? Have to check tomorrow. Blah 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 blah. And that's chaos magic, baby.
Every day.
So.
And there was also a request to do everybody's chart breakdown.
Like
although-
astrologically,
Big
Yeah.
us.
Yes.
I would have to ask their permission because looking at somebody's chart is, I feel, like a guide map to them. Maybe we could say a few things. I don't know if I could post their chart, but if you guys wanted a breakdown of me, Shanna, and Michelle,
I think Kyla should do an unlock talking about our charts for sure.
I'll do it'll be unlocked. You'll have to sign up
You'll
for
have
Patreon.
to sign up for Patreon
Yeah.
because she could definitely go into our charts specifically. But my big three: Leo, Sun, Capricorn Moon, Sagittarius Rising.
Aries Sun, Taurus Moon, Gemini Rising.
Leo rising, Taurus sun, Leo moon.
That's us.
That's us.
That's us. But I'll do a chart if they're okay with it.
Yeah.
I'll do an unlock of their charts.
Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
I'm excited about that request.
And there's a request for a show, unlock, or class about sex magic.
Yes. We were just talking about that. That keeps coming up.
We keep getting
And,
that. We'll figure that out.
we're
It
gonna-
won't be a
yeah.
show.
No.
You'll have to sign up for
Yeah.
Patreon
It'll be a
or
private
do a class.
thing.
It'll be something.
It'll be private.
But we keep getting that.
We're going
and
to delve in.
We hear you. We
We're
hear
hear
you,
you.
Yes.
and we're there for
It's
you.
coming. No pun intended.
Well, the sacral candle is working.
It's Mardi Gras, bitches. Where them
Right.
beads at?
And there was a request to test out products and review them on the show.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
More specific, like what kind of products do you want to see? Do you want to see products from people in our store or like random
Oh my
products?
gosh.
Like
You could send us products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have that's a great idea.
Yes.
If you have products, you could send them to us. We would
Yeah.
love to review
Yes,
them.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
We
That'd
would
be
have
awesome.
we would have to talk to people who can sign in our store.
Yeah.
We could do that. We could start doing that.
Sure.
That's a great idea. We'll figure that out. Thank you.
Okay,
Questions now?
questions. First question is, why do witches seem to flock to certain areas?
Well, let's just first talk about Tulsa for just a split second.
Great idea.
Tulsa has all kinds of trauma. And so I feel like
So
witches are attached to places with trauma.
Yeah.
And so Tulsa has multi-layered trauma. I mean,
We're
we're talking about
attracted to energy.
like geological traumas millions of years ago. To, you know, the native traumas, to the Black Wall Street massacre, to, you know, just what we're going through now with fucking government who doesn't care about us. Like, Tulsa has all of this trauma.
Yeah.
But there's also this huge spiritual community here, which just seems a little odd for the South Midwest, where the fuck we are here. But you know, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I went to New Orleans,
Yeah. I think that was one of the names that got listed with that question.
Yeah, like New Orleans for me, I mean, I immediately felt that like I should have been there. I've been there before. It's a place I'm supposed to be or supposed to go and experience. And I wasn't even aware of how many times this city was completely obliterated. Like floods, hurricanes, plagues, just tornadoes. I mean, this city has no reason to still be standing and partying. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, and the spirituality there, I mean, I saw the ghost of Marie Laveau in the window of her old demolished house.
Right.
A friend of mine was overtaken by the Holy Ghost spirit outside of a voodoo shop.
Yeah.
I mean, we experienced so much there, and it just feels rich, and the layered culture. It's not beautiful in that picturesque fucking Thomas Kincaid way, but it is beautiful in how it shows all the layers of its scars and its colors and its life.
True beauty.
Yeah.
You know, it's
and then
energy
there's
and stuff.
Salem. I've never been there.
I've never been to Salem, but I'm really attracted to if you guys watch the show Hellier.
Yes.
I'm really attracted to places where there are mining communities. Sean and I have done a lot of work there. I have family near Pitcher, Oklahoma, which is one of the more like famous ones. We've done a lot of spiritual work there.
Sedona.
In mining communities, though, like I just thought that's shit that really needs to be discovered. Like there's so much energy there. But yeah, like Sedona, people say like Eureka Springs, and these are all places that people go for healing. You know, and
And locally, Eureka Springs is probably the destination that most people go to for that type of connection.
So you have to think. So people heard that you could have healing here. Yeah. So they went there with
the Osage were doing it for hundreds of years.
So they went there with all this pain and tragedy and sickness, like hoping to get healed. And maybe some of them did. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, I think they have said that the waters weren't really that healing, but maybe some of them got community or whatever, or either way, there's some energy there. Healing. Energy is what we always talk about. It doesn't die, it doesn't be born, it just kind of grows and transforms. And some places just have that energy.
Yeah, geologically they have it. And Eureka Springs is on ley lines, which a lot of these other sacred places like Sedona
is a great.
The ley lines is what makes the conduit between the electricity and the gravity of the earth and these water sources.
Most of these places, there is a reason why
they're there.
Why they are
like
there.
I said, it goes back millions of years to the different traumas in the earth. Sedona, those vortexes, like it's not like you walk in and like the world changes like in fucking Star Trek or some shit.
Right.
But you feel an energetic shift.
Yeah.
That it's like looking through rose-colored glasses for lack of a better word. But it just feels good. I don't know, the air tastes better. I don't know how to explain it. But you can feel it. It's just like when we go to Tahlequah, that area. Yeah, where we went to
in New Mexico and like
New Mexico
and Ghost Ranch and shit like that. It was always like that. Like it's just like if you go to Bandelier State Park and you can actually go where like people had like meditative spaces where they waited for the light, where they watched like for the moon.
Yeah.
It is different there, you know? Like when you go to Eureka Springs at that certain part where everyone went to get healed, maybe they didn't get healed, but you can feel that hope that everyone walked into there.
Yeah.
Salem, I don't know.
Volcanoes, if you go to the volcanoes in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, when I was on Maui, like, we had to take a detour, got stuck all the way up Haleakala, and like you can like just feel like the power beneath you. And,
I definitely feel like the storms and tornadoes have a big part with Tulsa and Oklahoma and like all those like big energetics. But Salem, I wonder if did Salem have that witchy energy, or did we give it with history? Did like the community kind of?
It was a lot of environmental. And a lot of environmental stuff,
and that's part part of it too. Like in those places,
history.
Then those places also create it too. So yes, energy.
Yeah, the bringing together. Yeah, because that's what we're talking about, the bringing together.
But all witches did not originate from Salem.
No, absolutely not.
No, I feel like that was a whole other episode. I feel like we definitely kind of made that area witchy.
Yeah,
with
the convergence of
what happened.
The patriarchy by burning women who did things that weren't actually witches. Like, really, we can, if we look really deep into the heredity of that.
We have to. It's so deep.
There was only one of them that was probably really, like, practicing anything, and the rest of them were just, like, being women.
Yeah.
So, like, that
we
place
do that.
was built by the patriarchy, and it's totally partial.
We will do that.
Oh, I'm going to get that one witch on us now.
What one witch?
Alright. This one has kind of been touched on already, but can land be haunted or have energy?
Oh, yes.
We
just kind of hit on that.
Yeah.
With the ley lines. That's basically what we're talking about.
It's energy.
It starts with that.
That's what witches are connected to, is that energy. Yeah. They feel that energy,
portals
and that's why
are created by the land.
Yes.
More often than not.
And individuals sometimes, but more often than land.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the Ash of Ash Wednesday considered a sigil?
Any type of symbol is a sigil. So that is an old symbol, an ancient symbol that even actually predates Christianity.
It predates Christianity.
Like way old. I mean, the 4-point
It's a
cross,
pagan symbol. The cross is, and it's also really big in astrology. Like it's the cross.
The third eye, by the way.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like Christianity does that to block the third eye.
It's protection. In the Catholic Church, it's protection.
Perspective. This is where perspective comes in, because like, it's both.
I honestly think that the
but they think that's what protection is.
Right.
It's against knowledge and everything.
Right? So it's by following the rules you are protected from the outside things. God. Yeah. So that is
we say some truth here. Yes. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, but I also love. I am not religious. I've said it 1,000 times. I did not grow up indoctrinated by any sort of Western religion at all. But there are certain things that are appealing to me about Christianity, and I love rituals. So for me, like when the priest would come in at the old place and bless me on Ash Wednesday, I took it every time, and it felt so good to me. Just like
it's really common for witches to feel a connection to Catholicism.
Yeah.
Because. Gosh, it is ritual. It's
it's very feminine.
Yeah,
it's very feminine, and it's in its aesthetic, especially. And it's patriarchal in its practice.
But historically,
yes, it is.
Historically, what this does is we talked earlier in another episode about how this is the lean parts of the year, and this was the time in the Catholic liturgy that you fasted. Mm-hmm. You know, and there was a practical reason because of that, because your stores were empty, right? So this is a protection from your vices, which cause you to gorge and consume too much. So you give up something for Lent. This is the historical reason for Lent. And then, of course, the Catholic Church glommed onto that and made it into something else. But the reason that people protect themselves from this time until the spring is so that they don't overindulge. They don't have enough food in the stores. And anyway, so protection.
You overindulge when you know too much and you're too aware.
Yep. Yeah.
So it all works together, right?
It does. It does. Absolutely.
Sometimes when you're in scarcity, you don't need to be aware of everything. You just need to survive.
Yes.
By any means necessary.
Exactly.
God, we're just
covered in feathers.
Loving this. Yes.
All right. What is your go-to witchy music?
Ooh.
I'm jazz. I love jazz. Jazz is my thing.
Chaos, magic.
Jazz, and at certain times, if I'm like really into like a creative zone, I'm like directing a play or I'm putting on some like a big event, Deftones. That's just like I'll just like put on my Deftones playlist, Tool, Deftones, and just like get like really cerebral.
Yeah,
that's a cerebral heavy. Yeah, or other than that, it's jazz. Jazz makes me think.
So if I'm like get shit done mode, like I'm trying to manifest money and stuff, listen, I am like old school 90s West Coast rap. Like that's where I go. And it is just who I am. Like I gotta clean the house, I gotta make money, I gotta like get shit done. Listen, I'm probably listening to Tupac.
Yeah.
But if I'm trying to like move my energy in more feminine ways, I'm pretty militant lesbian. I'm like Tori Amos, Ani DeFranco, Hole, Bikini Kill,
I'm gonna fight you
Susie
about
and the
Hole.
Banshees.
I'm gonna fight you about Hole.
She's not going to give up.
I'm never gonna give it up.
She's
Bitch.
not.
Never, ever.
We've tried.
ever. But
Courtney doesn't stand for anything you stand for, Shanna.
it doesn't
She
matter.
is your
Kyla,
anti.
it doesn't.
Everything.
It doesn't matter. She got me through a time in my life when I
Stockholm
needed
syndrome.
to be.
It's fucking Stockholm
whoever-
syndrome.
Don't listen to Shanna. Shanna still believes Black Lives Matter. She is. No, don't listen to her loving Courtney Love right now. She doesn't believe all that stuff. I don't know what is happening.
Black Lives Matter. But that was a part of my youth.
I
And
do
so it's a place
understand that.
I go
I
back
do understand
to
that.
when I first
I
found
just
my power.
don't want you to pimp her anymore.
When I first
'cause
found
she's
my
problematic.
power, that's who I went to. I listened to fucking Explosive. Like that's literally the most misogynistic rap song that ever
No,
fucking
I
was.
understand. I understand.
But I go to it for a certain vibe, and that's just what I got to do when I go
Understandable.
there. Kyla, what's your shit?
I have a few different avenues. Most of the time it's like female led, like just for like kind of like random stuff.
Yeah.
Florence is one of my favorites.
Florence.
I can't even deny that. Tori is always going to be like a favorite of mine. Cornflake, I never was a Cornflake girl. I don't know why. It's just like one of my most like powerful like manifestation songs.
Somehow we should like do this.
But
Do this at some point.
when I need to, I have a hard time. I have a lot of trauma in my life, if you know me, and so sometimes my sacral gets very blocked. I gotta listen to fucking like Dr. Dre and all that old shit back in the day, just because like I know it doesn't seem like magic, but it is. You have
move around.
We store trauma right here, and like girls, all of us back in the day that know how to twerk,
And-
that is spiritual work.
And you can
Open
find
that
those songs
up.
even
Open
just
that up.
instrumental, especially lots of Dr. Dre.
Oh, yeah.
And I
I
listen
mean-
to that too.
I know it's really hard to listen to some of that stuff.
Right.
It's really hard to love the music and not the musician, but whatever. I also love probably my favorite songs. I really love some Viking shit. I can't pronounce that one girl's name. I also love, oh my gosh, Fever Ray. I really love like some cerebral stuff. Radiohead. Oh my gosh. What's it? Air. I love that Moon Fever. They have a lot of songs dedicated to the moon. But when I want to get nasty, you know, it's also like Nine Inch Nails and like, you know, some just
industrial.
you know, just some kind of
Me too.
any music that you want to. It doesn't have to be quote unquote witchy music.
No.
Any
It's
music
what
that
makes
you
you
like.
feel
You
powerful.
move.
Yeah.
Makes you
Whatever
move.
makes you
moves your
move.
energy. That's it.
Movement is the magic, you know.
Yes.
You have to unlock. We store all this stuff in our bodies, and it gets really hard. And whoever makes you move, like that's your witchy music.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to answer that one. And if you guys don't want that, you can cut it out and post.
Answer it for us, John.
Fourth wall breakage. I love it.
If I'm wanting to be
Rage Against the Machine.
creative or create something, Deerhoof or Primus. If I want to commune with nature, the Polyphonic Spree or Granddaddy. And if I have like some more miles left on the hike and I'm fucking exhausted, Pelican or Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine is one of my favorites. I should have
Me
mentioned
too.
that one.
Way
It's one of
before
my
that. Yeah.
favorites. There is definitely, I know we've gotten asked this question in kind of like abstract ways, but yes, there are, if you know us, there is like political witch. Like there is that side. There is so much of that, and Rage is definitely my fucking music.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
makes
if I'm
me-
battling QAnon on the interwebs, Rage is probably the
It makes
soundtrack.
me so sad that they use those songs and don't
Yep.
understand.
Yep.
You are the machine.
They don't even care.
Idiots.
Anyway, I
Jacks.
can't get on that. I can't get on that. Next question.
I forgot we were
question,
even on
Sean.
film.
What practice do you think is overrated?
Ooh, like spiritual witchy practice. Okay.
Okay.
I got one that's. I'm scared to say it.
Okay, I'm just gonna dive in,
Do it,
and I'm just
Aries.
gonna do an umbrella.
Do it, Aries.
It's an umbrella.
I can't wait.
So we've talked about this before, and it's the need for rules and structure. That's what really annoys me, is that people think there needs to be rules and structure, and that's a social construct. So we've been taught that for thousands and thousands and thousands of years
And
through the dominant religious traditions.
And we understand that because most people come
We
from us
need
from
to
that
have
trauma.
that.
But
And we need to have that, but not in your
Tell 'em,
spiritual,
Michelle. Tell 'em,
not in your
Michelle.
spiritual practice. A lot of the neo-pagan groups that formed, the like first wave or second wave of neo-pagan groups that formed, were still patterning it after the religions that they're trying to get away from, that they're trying to go back before, right? So you can't apply those rules to a connection that is not logical. It's not logical. You can't rely on rules and logic. This is an emotional and spiritual connection. That's the one that pisses me off the most, and it's the hardest for people to understand. And it colors everything. It colors everything. If you can't break out of that box and see things from a non-linear perspective. That's the
God,
one
that was a good one.
gets me.
Jesus Christ.
We get hit with that all the time, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it
think
is.
you have to follow
and it's
rules
been
for
asked,
everything.
It's been asking us a lot of
A
different
lot.
And in a lot of different ways. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like a lot of, and no hate, but a lot of
No.
you guys will like message us at weird times of night and say, you know, I don't have this color candle.
Right.
I don't have this herb. I don't have this. I didn't do this. What did I do? Like, can I do anything? Did I mess up? And I understand that in some practices, some things are very laid out and very specific, and I want to respect that.
Right.
But for the most part, if you found a spell on Pinterest, you know, if you use a red candle instead of white, like, you don't have to call us and be afraid that someone is mad at you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that
there are practices where there are set spells
Yes.
that need, and if you can't have that, if you don't have it, then you can't do that spell.
Right.
You can't do that spell.
And we want to appreciate those practices.
And I respect those practices. I am devout to some of my practices
Yes.
like that. If I do not have this herb, I am not doing that
Can't do
spell.
that spell.
But there are other ways to get to the same place. So this is where it is a practice. This is where you do have to study and do have to know.
research.
So that's why we tell people, no, don't buy that book of spells. Buy this book about herbs and this book about crystals and this book about magic and this book about animals, because if you know a little, enough about or have reference material, you're crafting your own
if
work.
you're a
Making your own
witch,
spell.
you manipulate energy. And if you can't do that spell, then do your own.
own spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you need to, you know?
So what is overrated is trying to be in a specific path.
Yes.
We've said this 1,000 times. None of us identify as one specific thing. We're all very eclectic.
We get that
chaotic.
question so much.
much.
What kind of witch are we? And we always are like, we're us. you
Good
guys.
witches, bad
We're
witches,
so us.
gray witches, green witches.
And we want you guys to just be you. We don't want you to be us. We
Right.
want you to be you.
Yeah.
Like, I know that again, we always want to reiterate there are certain paths that are very strict, but for the most part, your healing and your craft, again, you're your own authority. That is totally on you. We could make a post about, I know for Samhain, we posted a ritual, and we got a lot of questions about, I can't do this, and I can't, do that, or you said to do this, but I really want to do this, and I just want to say, like, when you're first, like, really, I feel like this is going to be shitty, but whatever. But when you're first really a witch is when you're like, okay, maybe I heard Shanna or Kyla or Michelle say that, but I feel like I should do this.
Yeah.
Like, and you do that. And I want you to go through that. We're just giving you a guideline. We're just giving you tools. We want you to do whatever makes you feel empowered.
Yep.
Like, again, there are certain practices. If you go to Shanna for those certain practices, and you need to do that. But when we're just talking about like rituals for your healing and things that you want to do,